Hey guys, Justkellyhere here, back with another video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm doing self-love tips and tricks because I know that especially on Valentine's Day, people go through this issue of self-love and they see other people in relationships and they start feeling bad about themselves and they start comparing themselves to others. But I just want to let you know that there's no reason that you have to do that. You can achieve self-love no matter what because everyone goes through this at some point and there are ways to get through it. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so first of all, you have to start learning to love yourself before you could even have someone else love you. If you get into a relationship, you're gonna start looking to that person for happiness and reassurance all throughout your relationship, and that's an unhealthy relationship. So what you have to do is find self-love within yourself first, and then you can get into a relationship. Say you do get into a relationship and it's a toxic relationship, that person will bring you up sometimes, but other times they'll put you down. And you'll start believing them each time they put you down, and that's not good. But if you have self-love and you have achieved self-love, then no matter what anyone says to you, you won't take it into effect and think about yourself in a negative aspect. Also, no one can fulfill your happiness but yourself, so what you have to do is achieve happiness on your own, and then once you have that, it's a good time to get into a relationship. What you also have to do is make sure that you have a good support system, because if you have a negative person in your life that's constantly bringing you down, you're not going to be able to bring yourself up. So you have to kick that negative person out of your life, and if you don't have a negative person, you might be that negative person to yourself. You might be bringing yourself down all the time, and that's not good. You have to start building yourself up instead of bringing yourself down. So each day what you have to do is write down things that you love about yourself. What my roommate does, she writes down in her journal and she does 50 affirmations of love. Self-love. So I would say do that. Or also, she said, and I agree, that you can put post-it notes on your mirror of things that you love about yourself, or just look into the mirror and say a few things that you love about yourself. And if you can't find anything that you love about yourself at the moment, that's okay. Say you really don't like this one thing about yourself. Fake it until you make it, and say that you love it every single day until you actually believe it, because the more you say it, the more you'll believe it. So that's a good way to get through it. Also, another thing is, you can't compare yourself to others. You can't, because you will never be those people. You will never be the person that you're comparing yourself to, so you might as well just stop while you're ahead. I know that society paints like a picture of beauty, and there's a certain like aesthetic or look of beauty that society has constructed, but that's fake. That's all fake. It's not real. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, and you don't have to live up to a certain standard. There's no standard of beauty at all. It's just fake. Like, you don't have to look like a model. You don't have to be a certain body type. You don't have to do anything like that. You're beautiful in your own way, and you have to start embracing that. So you have to start realizing that you are beautiful and you don't need to look a certain way. Another thing that you have to know is you don't need makeup to look beautiful. You don't need makeup to feel beautiful, because you need to start embracing yourself for who you are. So embrace your bare face. You don't need makeup to look beautiful, because you are beautiful without it. I know that a lot of people feel the need to always wear makeup. Like, I even went through that at some point. You don't need to wear makeup all the time. Yeah, it's fun to wear makeup every once in a while, and it does build your self-confidence in a way, but don't feel like you need to rely on that for all your self-confidence. A couple years ago, I went through the same thing, and I felt like I needed to always wear makeup to hide my acne scars and my acne, because I felt disgusting with it. I felt super ugly, and I did not like how my bare face looked. But once I started like practicing self-care more, and I started like taking care of my skin, I started to minimize my acne and my acne scars. And then once it was minimized, I was like, wow, why was I so upset over it? Like, there was no point, because it's a natural thing and everyone goes through it, and no one cares if you have an acne scar or you have acne all over your face. No one cares. They care of who you are as a person. So start trying to love your bare face for how it is and how it looks. Once you dwell on it so much and then you start achieving self-love, you have self-confidence, you'll start looking back and you're like, wow, why did I even feel that way? There was literally no point. Happiness starts within, like I said. What you have to do is one thing every day that makes you happy. I have this book and it says, do one thing every day that makes you happy. And I read in it, and it just really like makes me feel grateful of my life and how it is. And it just makes me feel good to do like one happy thing every single day. So you don't necessarily have to get this book, but you could write it down in a journal. Journals help a lot, so you should invest in a journal for sure. And write down in your journal one thing that makes you happy every single day, and then you'll start realizing how awesome your life is, and you'll start realizing how grateful you are for the people around you, and then you'll start getting happiness on your own, and you'll start feeling happy about yourself, and everything will just fall into place. Or if you also don't have a journal or a book, you don't need a book. You could just reflect on how your day was, like right before you go to sleep. You don't necessarily have to have a journal. Just think back of all the things that you did that day and what made you happy. You have to start taking care of yourself. That's another thing. Mental health and physical health is really important. Say you have a lot of stress in your life, you have to go about that stress in a positive way. Like you have to have good stress relievers and you have to deal with it properly. So I would say every time you feel stressed, do things that make you happy. Get a hobby of some sort, like painting or drawing or exercising or like listening to music or napping or doing yoga or face mask or something. Like any little way that you can relieve stress will really impact you and will help you achieve self-love. So physical health is really important, so I suggest that you should exercise, eat healthy, eat right, and also hydrate yourself. I always forget that too, but you should hydrate yourself. It's good for your skin, it's good for your body, it's good for everything overall. So make sure you do all of that. Just make sure you take care of your mental health and your physical health and you'll be good. Another thing that I live by, and I suggest that if you don't live by this, you should take into account into your everyday life, be a light. And to me that means be a source of energy, be the person that betters dark situations, and it's also in Matthew 5:14 if that means anything to you, if you guys are religious. I'm not personally, but if you want to take that into account, that's good. Be someone who people turn to for help, and be the source of energy and happiness around others. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell to know every single time that I post. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to be a light. Bye!